I never thought I'd kill a man with my bare hands, but when I felt his pulse fade under my stolen fingers, I realized the real murder had happened years ago, right in my own living room, courtesy of the sister I raised like my own blood. My niece's words still echo. "You're just a leech." Aunt Serenity, sucking us dry while we build something real. She spat them at me through a video call from my own goddamn couch. The one I bought with overtime from 3 jobs. And just like that, I walked away, not quietly, as the headlines would later claim, but with a vow carved into my soul. I'd come back as the monster they made me, and I'd make them beg for the mercy they never showed. It started in the fluorescent hell of Eldridge and Sons, a mid-tier accounting firm in downtown Chicago, where the air always smelled like burnt coffee and broken dreams. I was 42, single, no kids, the kind of woman who'd clawed her way up from a trailer park in Gary, Indiana, to a corner office that overlooked Lake Michigan on clear days. Serenity Hayes, that was me, the reliable one, the fixer. My sister, Lila, was the wildfire, beautiful, reckless, always one bad decision from rock bottom. I'd bailed her out more times than I could count, loans for her failed marriages, a down payment on the house she trashed with party after party, even legal fees when her third husband, that sleaze Rick,
got pinched for DUI.
But family, right? That's what we do. Or so I told myself when she showed up at my door 3 years ago, tears streaming, 2 suitcases in tow, and her teenage daughter,
Mia,
trailing behind like a sullen shadow. "Rick's gone," Lila sobbed, collapsing into my arms. "He cleaned out the accounts and vanished to Vegas. We got nowhere else." Rennie, her pet name for me. Like we were still kids sharing secrets under the covers.
Mia,
15 and all sharp edges, just rolled her eyes and scrolled her phone. I should have seen the signs. The way Lila's eyes darted around my place, appraising the granite counters, the framed diplomas from DePaul. But I was too busy being the hero. "Stay as long as you need," I said, clearing out the guest room. It was a 3-bedroom Craftsman in Lincoln Park, bought with sweat equity after Dad died and left me his old truck as a legacy. I'd turned it into a sanctuary, exposed brick walls, a backyard garden with heirloom tomatoes, and a home office where I crunched numbers for clients who treated me like gold. For the first month, it was domestic bliss. Hallmark Channel style. Lila cooked badly, but with flair, burnt pot roasts that we laughed over with boxed wine. Mia thawed a bit, borrowing my clothes and blasting Taylor Swift while doing homework at my kitchen island. I even helped with her college apps, pulling strings at a friend's firm for an internship shadow. "You're the best, Aunt S," she'd say, hugging me awkwardly. It felt like redemption, like I'd finally stitched up the holes in our family quilt. Then the cracks showed. Lila started networking, dressing in my blazers and heels, heading to interviews that stretched into nights at rooftop bars. Mia's school fees piled up, private tuition at some fancy academy I'd footed without a word. And Rick, he wasn't gone. Texts I glimpsed on Lila's phone. "Miss you.
babe."
Wired the cash, keep it quiet. She was playing both ends, siphoning from him while bleeding me dry. The real knife twist came at work. Eldridge and Sons was auditing a big fish, Vanguard Therapeutics, a pharma giant run by Harlan Crow, a silver-haired shark in bespoke suits who lunched with senators. I was lead on the books, spotless. Until they weren't. One Monday, the feds swarmed our office, badges flashing like bad omens. Embezzlement, the agent barked, cuffing me in front of my team. 2 million funneled through shell accounts. Your signature. Hennis. Hayes. My signature? I'd never seen those ledgers. But the evidence was ironclad. Forged emails from my address. Timestamps matching my VPN logs. Even a witness, some junior analyst swearing I'd bragged about side hustles over drinks. Harlan Crow himself testified. Cool as Arctic air. She was disgruntled after a denied promotion. Trusted her with sensitive data. Clearly a mistake. Lila was the ghost in the machine. She'd confessed in a drunken haze one night, months later. But by then it was too late. Harlan needed a fall guy, she'd slurred, her breath hot with vodka. Promised me a board seat if I helped. Mia's future. Rennie. Private schools. Trust funds. You were always so straight-laced it was easy to frame you. Easy. Like borrowing a cup of sugar. The trial was a circus. Tabloids dubbed me the Ledger Leech, painting me as the bitter spinster who'd snapped. My savings vanished on lawyers who folded like cheap suits. Lila testified as the devastated sister, dabbing tears while her eyes gleamed.
Mia?
She visited once in county lockup, 16 now, and polished like a debutante. Why'd you do it? Aunt S? We trusted you. As if I were the villain. Sentenced to 8 years at Logan Correctional. I walked out of court in orange jumpsuits. The judge's gavel echoing like a death knell. But the worst? The auction. My house, my sanctuary, went on the block to cover restitution. Lila swooped in, out of love, buying it at fire sale price with Rick's dirty money. She moved her family in that week. Posting pics on Instagram. New beginnings. Mia lounging on my couch. Lila toasting with champagne flutes. The video call came 6 months in. Mia's face filling the screen from my former living room. We're doing great here, she chirped, panning to Lila in the kitchen, stirring something aromatic. Mom says thanks for everything. But honestly, you're just a leech. Aunt Serenity. Sucking us dry while we build something real. Don't worry. We'll keep the place nice.
Click.
The line went dead. And something in me shattered, not into tears, but resolve. Cold. Unyielding. Prison was a slow grind.
But it honed me.
I read voraciously Sun Tzu, Machiavelli, true crime dossiers on white-collar wolves like Crow. Whispers in the yard about experimental programs, mind transfer tech, they called it, buried in black-budget labs. Vanguard Therapeutics was at the forefront, testing neural bridges for executive burnout. Crow, the pioneer, bragging in leaked memos about swapping souls to cheat death. Parole came early, good behavior,
They said.
But on the bus out, a black SUV tailed me to a halfway house in Joliet. The driver, a ghost from the trial. Crow's right hand. Victor Kane. Mr. Crow offers opportunities, he murmured, slipping me a card. Desperate, I dialed. 2 days later, I was in a sterile suite at Vanguard's skunkworks. Electrodes humming on my temples. Consensual neural mapping, the doc lied, as the machine whirred. Back up your essence for posterity. But I saw the fear in his eyes, the glitch. A power surge, alarms blaring, and then nothing. Blackness, then light. I woke gasping, but not in my body. Hands strong, veined, masculine, clutched the armrests. Mirror across the room. Harlan Crow's face stared back, lined with 70 years of conquests. Ice blue eyes now mine.
Swapped.
Not a backup, a full inversion. My mind in his shell.
His in.
Wherever the surge flung it. Chaos erupted, nurses swarming. Victor barking orders. But I played it cool. Crow's baritone rumbling from my throat. Containment protocol. I commanded. Voice steady. They bought it for now. The power was intoxicating. Penthouse in the Gold Coast. Chauffeured Bentley. Assistants jumping like fleas. I accessed his vaults, offshore accounts, blackmail files. The smoking gun on my frame-up. Lila's emails to Crow. She's out of the way. Deliver on the board seat. Mia's college fund. Seated with my stolen millions. But Crow's mind, fragments lingered. Like radio static. Ambitions. Cruelties. A daughter lost to overdose. Buried guilt. I shoved it down. Plotting. First, the family. I drove to Lincoln Park. The house glowing under sodium lamps. Lila answered the door in silk. Surprise flickering to greed. Harlan, what brings you to our little nook? I echoed. Stepping in. The scent of my tomatoes wafting from the kitchen. Mia bounded down. All college fresh. Double taking. Mr. Crow? Mom. What's he doing here? Business, I said. Settling on my old couch like a king. Lila poured scotch, my scotch. Vintage. Over drinks. I wove the lore. Vanguard needs family-oriented faces. Board expansion. You, Lila, with your resilience. Her eyes lit. Mia's too, future secured. They bit. Dinners followed. My penthouse their playground. I fed them lies. Watched them preen. But the swap's instability gnawed, migraines. Blackouts where Crow's memories surged, boardroom coups. A wife's suicide pinned on stress. Victor noticed. Probing, sir. The anomaly, your vitals are off. I stonewalled. But time ticked. The revenge blueprint crystallized one stormy night. Thunder rattling the loop skyline. I'd expose them, not with fists, but precision. Leak the frame-up docs to the Sun-Times. Timed with an SEC probe I'd greenlight as Crow. Lila's bored dreams would curdle to indictments. Mia's Ivy League vanish in scandal's shadow. But decisions loomed. Controversial as hell. Leak anonymously, and they slithered free on technicalities. Go nuclear, testify as Crow. Perjuring his legacy. Risking my fragile hold.
Or.
End it personally. Crow's gun safe held a Beretta. Matte black temptation. I chose the gray path. First strike. Mia's internship at Vanguard. I pulled strings. Got her in, then buried her in audits. Creative accounting, tutorials laced with my frame-up code. She cracked under pressure. Confiding in emails I hacked. Aunt S was right, it was Mom. Naivety. Or ploy.
Didn't matter.
Lila pushed harder. Cornering me at a gala. Her hand on my arm, Crow's arm. Harlan. The seat. We've earned it. Earned? I laughed. Low and dark. The room swirling with tuxedos and champagne flutes. Earned implies sweat. Lila. You stole. Her face paled. But she rallied. Venom sweet. Like you didn't steal everything from Rennie? She's rotting because of us. Family first. Right? The irony burned. I left her there. Plotting the climax. The migraines worsened. Crow's psyche clawing back like kudzu through cracked concrete. I'd wake in cold sweats. His voice whispering betrayals. She was weak. Harlan. You built an empire on the bones of the frail. No, that was me. Serenity. The frail one they discarded. I doubled down on meds from his private doc. Black market neural stabilizers that tasted like battery acid. Victor's suspicions hardened. He tailed me to a dive bar in Wicker Park, where I nursed IPAs and eavesdropped on ex-cons swapping war stories. Body in the boss's skin, one chuckled. Feds to pay for that tale. Victor cornered me outside. Rain sheeting off his trench. You're not him. The real Harlan's in a coma ward. Brain fried. Who the fuck are you? I could have denied. But the game's afoot. Serenity Hayes, I said, Crow's drawl twisting the words. His eyes widened, recognition. Then calculation. The leech. This is corporate espionage? Crow'd got you. I leaned in, breath fogging the downpour. Or promote me. Help me burn them. And your sins stay buried. Betray. And yours go public first. He wavered, loyalty to a ghost versus self-preservation. Greed won. What's the play? Over greasy diner hash browns. I laid it out. Victor as mole. Feeding falsified reports to keep the swap secret. In return, a cut of Crow's slush fund. Laundered clean. Emboldened, I escalated. Mia's hazing intensified. Endless spreadsheets. Fabricated deadlines. She crumbled in my office. Tears smearing mascara. Mr. Crow? I can't. Mom says push through. But it's like what happened to Aunt Serenity. The pressure broke her. Bingo. I feigned sympathy. Crow's paternal mask cracking. Tell me more about your aunt. She spilled. Guilt loosening her tongue. Lila's late-night calls to Rick. Wiring consulting fees that mirrored my frame-up. Dad's back.
Kinda.
Funds Mom's projects. But Aunt S? She was good to us. Gave up her room. Her savings. We called her a leech, 'cause Mom said it made her the villain. Easier to sleep. Rage boiled. But I played long game. Loyalty's a bitch.
Mia.
Sometimes you gotta cut the rot. She nodded. Seeds planted. That night, I hacked deeper, Lila's phone. Pinging Rick in a Reno casino. Blowing my millions on blackjack and blondes. The gala aftermath lingered. Lila cornered Victor next. Probing, Harlan seems
Off.
distant. He stonewalled. But paranoia festered. She ramped up charm offensives. Homemade lasagnas delivered to the penthouse. Mia in intern chic. Batting lashes over expense reports. I indulged, drawing them closer to the flame. Then the secret cracked open, hidden deeper than embezzlement. In Crow's encrypted drive. A file. Project Echo. Neural contingency. Not just burnout swaps, full erasures. Crow had tested on volunteers, homeless vets, indebted junkies. Their minds wiped for elite uploads.
My swap?
No glitch, a trial run on a high-value asset.
Me?
The perfect patsy. Prepped in prison via subliminal feeds. Lila knew. Her visits planted the hooks. For the greater good, her note read. Mia's stars aligned. Betrayals abyss. She'd sold my soul for a seat at the table. I confronted her alone. In my old backyard. Fireflies dancing like accusations. Rennie, she gasped. Wine glass slipping. I dropped the act. Voice modulator glitching to my timbre. Rain slicked her hair. She looked small. The wildfire guttered. How? She whispered, backing against the garden shed. I advanced. Crow's bulk looming. Science.
Sister.
Your patron saint's parlor trick. The confession poured. Her envy. My stability a mirror to her chaos. You had it all, house. Career. I took it for us. For Mia.
Us.
Always us. Never me. I could have ended it there, hands around her throat. The tomatoes witnessing. But controversy called, mercy as weapon.
Join me, I lied.
Testify against Crow. Redemption arc. Her eyes flickered. Hope. Then cunning. And the board. Greed's tell. She agreed. Of course. We plotted her whistleblower reveal. Timed for the quarterly board meeting. Victor prepped the leaks. Mia, unwitting, digitized the echo files. Tension coiled like a spring. Blackouts hit harder. Crow's fragments raging. Finish her. Harlan. Weakness kills umpires. The night before the meet, Mia texted. Found something weird in the archives. Aunt S's case looks rigged. Mom involved.
Panic.
I called her to the penthouse. Skyline throbbing with city pulse. She arrived wired. Eyes darting. You're not Crow. The voice. It's her. Aunt S. Revelation's knife. I nodded. Modulator off.
Swapped.
Trapped in his skin to claw back what's mine. Tears welled, not fear. But fury. You let Mom frame you? For what? To play house. No. The twist of youth's absolutism. She grabbed a letter opener. Trembling. She said you were jealous. Stealing her light. But this? You're the monster now. Decision point. Controversial as sin. Kill the girl. Silence the threat? Or weaponize her rage? Help me end it, I urged. Expose them both. She hesitated. Blade glinting. Then dropped it. For you, Aunt S. But if you hurt her, the pact sealed. Bloodless but binding. Board day dawned gray. Chicago winds whipping off the lake. Vanguard's tower loomed. Glass monolith to greed. Lila arrived radiant. Power suit hugging curves. Mia at her side like a trophy. Victor nodded from the shadows. I, Crow, presided, gavel in hand. The pitch, Lila's vision for family pharma. Buzzwords flying. Then, the hammer. I cued the screen, emails, transfers, echo schematics. Gasps rippled, Lila's face drained to ash. Harlan. What? Truth time, I growled.
Standing.
Modulator failed mid-sentence. My voice cracking through. Chaos. Board scattering. Security swarming. Lila lunged. Nails raking. You bitch. Rennie. Mia froze. Then bolted, loyalty fracturing. Victor activated the lockdown. But it backfired. Feds. Tipped anonymously. Breached the lobby. Sirens wailed. A symphony of downfall. I cornered Lila in the exec washroom, marble echoing her sobs. Why? I demanded, pinning her against sinks. Sisters? Rennie. Blood. Blood. I laughed. Bitter. You bled me dry. The choice, drag her to justice. Or swift end. Her pleas twisted. Mia's future, please. The controversial cut. I released her. Cuffing wrists with my belt. Live with it. Rod and Jen pop. like I did. But Mia, wild card. She burst in. Phone live streaming to TikTok. Vanguard swap. My face, crows mid-monologue. And Serenity's back. Viral in seconds. The world watching the leech reclaim her fangs. The tower became a madhouse. Feds and windbreakers herding suits like cattle. Lila, zip-tied and shrieking, was hauled past me, her eyes promising hell. You think this ends it? Rick's got dirt on you now. Bluff or bomb. No time to parse. Mia clung to my sleeve. Smartphone buzzing with notifications. Body swap scandal trended. Memes of Crow's face morphing into mine. Captions screaming corporate possession horror. Victor vanished in the scrum. A ghost double-crossing. Later, his body washed up in the Chicago River overdose. Ruled suicide. My doing? Let's say the Beretta found a silencer. Controversial calculus. One pawn for the Queen's survival. Media frenzy hit like a nor'easter. CNN looped the stream. Podcasters dissected the Hayes heist. I holed up in a safe house off Michigan Avenue. Crow's credit cards burning hot. The swap's tether frayed. Full blackouts now. His mind surging like a riptide. I'd wake clawing sheets. Tasting bourbon and regret. His daughter's ghost whispering. Daddy. Why'd you let her die? Echo's underbelly unraveled in raids. Lab shuddered. Techs flipping for immunity. My testimony, as Serenity in Harlan's husk, sealed indictments. SEC froze assets. Vanguard cratered. Stock plunging like a stone. Lila's trial loomed. Federal courthouse in the loop, a coliseum for our blood feud. Mia defected fully. Crashing my bolt hole with takeout tie and a laptop of pilfered files. Mom's crumbling, she said. Chopsticks poised. Blames you.
Me?
Everyone. Rick ghosted. Took the leftovers. Her eyes, so like Lila's, held no hate, pity, maybe. What now? And us? You're. Him. Forever? The question gnawed. Docs confirmed. Neural bridge one way. Crow's cortex mush in some ICU drawer. I was the vessel. Serenity's will in a tycoon's tomb. Power tempted, rebuild Vanguard my way. Green energy pivots. Atonement arc. But revenge's aftertaste soured. Empty. Echoing. Rick surfaced in a deposition vid. Smirking from a Maui villa. Lila pitched the frame. I executed. Hayes was collateral. Too clean. Too trusting. His laugh grated. The hidden secret detonated. Not just embezzlement, insurance scam. Dad's old policy. Cashed postmortem by me. But forged beneficiary to Lila years back. I'd signed off. Blind faith. Gifting her the seed money for her spiral. The crime I bore? Echoed Dad's. A lifetime of proxies. Fury reignited. I greenlit Victor's successor, a hacker kid from Mia's circle, to trace Rick's wires. Maui raid, feds kicking in lanai doors. Him in board shorts. Pleading fifth. Extradited. He'd sing, Lila's puppeteer all along. Climax brewed at Logan. My old haunt. Parole board fast-tracked Lila's cooperation. House arrest pending trial. But I pulled strings. Crow's Rolodex a skeleton key. Transported for rehab eval, she arrived cuffed. Jumpsuit sallow against prison gray. I waited in the visitor's booth. Plexiglass our veil. Crow's face impassive. Rennie, she breathed. Receiver trembling. They say you're
Possessed.
ending this nightmare? Her plea twisted maternal. Mia's lost without me. Be the sister I need. Manipulation's perfume. You made me the monster, I said, voice steady. Echo wasn't glitch, your gift to Crow.
For what?
A throne built on my grave. Tears tracked her cheeks. Genuine or Oscar bait? Jealousy.
Yeah.
You thrived without scars. I wanted. Even. The controversial crux. Forgive. And fracture my vengeance? Or twist the knife? Force her mirror. Confess, I demanded. On record. Every lie. She balked. Then broke, microphone catching the flood. Frame up details. Echo complicity. Rick strings. Guards burst in. Recording beamed live to court feeds. Outside. Storm clouds boiled. Mirroring the maelstrom. Mia waited in the lot. Rain beating on her hoodie. It's done, she asked. Hugging fierce. For a beat. Family flickered, possible. Fragile. But the twist loomed. Reversal's shadow. That night. Blackouts peaked. Crow's full torrent. Not fragments, resurrection. His mind. Pieced from backups. Overriding mine. I fought in the penthouse mirror. Veins bulging. 2 souls in one skull. Mine, he snarled through his lips. You were the vessel.
Leech.
Time to vacate. Panic clawed. I'd rigged a failsafe. Neural disruptor. Echo prototype in the safe. One jolt to fry the bridge. But Mia, she'd snuck in. Eyes wide at the writhing form. Aunt S? Fight it. Decision's razor. Trigger now. Risk killing us both? Or let Crow resurface? Dooming my justice? Her hand on mine, small. Steady. For us, she whispered. I nodded. Slamming the device. Electricity arced. Agony's white fire. Darkness swallowed. But not before her scream. Woke to beeps. Hospital sterile. Body mine?
No.
Still crows. But quiet. Docs murmured. Partial severance. Donor stable. Donor? Mia? Experimental recipient. Echoes Hail Mary. Her youth bridging the gap. My mind split. Echoes in both shells. Lila's trial ballooned. Confessions damning. Rick flipped. Testifying for leniency. Vanguard dissolved in class actions. I testified remotely. Crow's face on split screen with Mia's. Our voices harmonizing accusations. Verdict, Lila. 20 years. No parole. She stared through the feed. Broken but unbowed. Blood. Rennie. Always. Aftermath's haze settled like Lake Michigan fog, thick.
Disorienting.
Mia recovered in a Vanguard-funded clinic. Her body hosting my splinter. Serenity's essence. Diluted but defiant. We communicated via neural link. Whispers in ether. Feels weird. Aunt S. Like you're my dreams. In Crow's husk. Navigated his empire's ruins. Asset sales funding reparations. My frame-up, payout a cool 50 mil. Public devoured the saga. Netflix pitched Swap Sisters. Tabloids crown me, the vengeful vessel. Controversy raged. Forums debating. Hero or hubris? Did I destroy a family for justice? Or shatter it for spite? Mia's TikToks went viral. Raw vlogs of living with Aunt Ghost. Ethical minefield. Trolls calling it exploitation. I pushed back. Anonymous posts. Revenge isn't tidy. It's the scar tissue of betrayal. Rick slithered a plea. 5 years in club fed. Emerging tanned and tell already. His book, The Puppet Master's Wife, painted Lila the mastermind, me the collateral zealot. Sales spiked. I sued for defamation, winning enough to cede Mia's trust. Irony's wink. My money rebuilding her future. Lila rotted in Dwight. Letters smuggled via guards. Hate me. But remember the girl who shared crayons? I burned them. But doubt crept. Had I stolen her shot at redemption? Controversial what-ifs haunted. Walk away quietly. Like the myth said. And let karma grind slow. Instead, I ground it to dust. The true reversal hit unannounced. A FedEx from Victor's estate, posthumous insurance. Flash drive. Echo's core code. Annotated. Crow's final log. Hayes wasn't the patsy. She was the prototype. Injected during trial, subliminals primed her for upload. Lila, my lover, not pawn. Conceived Mia as heir. But the girl's bloodline. Unstable. Swap was mercy kill. Delayed. Mind reeling. Lila. Crow's paramour?
Mia.
Their spawn, not Rick's. The frame-up? Cover for impregnating the fall guy, birthing a neural heir. I'd suffered not for greed, but bloodline betrayal, my sister's child, my niece. Engineered Frankenstein. Confrontation's endgame. Dwight visitation. Lila gaunt behind glass. No, I asked, modulator ghosting my voice. She nodded. Weary. Harlan's madness. Wanted immortality through her, Mia. You were. Convenient. Pure mind. No taint. Confessions flood. Their affair. Spanning decades, my help unwitting midwifery to monstrosity. Why me? Sobs choked her. You were always the strong one. I envied. Hated.
Loved.
Destroyed us to save her from him. Reversal's gut punch. Villainy birthed of protection. My revenge cycle spoke. I walked out. Rain-lashed parking lot blurring. Mia waited. Link humming. Truth hurts. Huh. We drove to Lincoln Park. The house sold but echoes lingering. Inside empty. Mine again via settlement. She lit candles. Heirloom tomatoes rotting on vines outside. What now? She asked. Cross-legged on bare floors. Decision's precipice. Sever the link. Let her live free? Or merge? Twisted Family 2.0. Controversial choice. I triggered the bridge. Full sync. Agony. Then unity, serenity and Mia. One mind in two bodies. Crow's husk discarded to hospice. Ending's ambiguity. Happy. In fractured wholeness? Mia aced Harvard Law. Crusading white-collar reform, I ghost-wrote exposés. Pen name the leech. Lila paroled early. Vanishing to Oregon orchards, rumors of amends. Unconfirmed.
Rick?
Bounced checks in obscurity. Debate indoors. Did I avenge? Or avenge too much? Walking away quietly might have spared souls. But silence breeds monsters. I chose roar, dark, tense. American as apple pie a la mode with arsenic drizzle. And in quiet moments, Mia's laugh in my head. I wonder, worth it? Blood says yes, scars scream no.
The end.